Why Neptune is the most terrifying planet. Imagine you are floating alone at the edge of our solar system. Behind you, the sun has shrunk into nothing more than a bright star. Its warmth is gone. Its light barely reaches you. Ahead lies Neptune, a deep blue world. Calm, beautiful, almost peaceful. It looks like a frozen paradise. But the moment you get closer, you realize something terrifying. This isn't a planet, it's a trap, and almost everything about it wants to kill you. At first, Neptune is breathtaking. Its rich blue color shines against the endless darkness of space, like a giant sapphire suspended in the void. From a distance, it feels quiet, gentle, almost welcoming. But something is wrong. That beautiful blue isn't a sign of life. It's methane gas, swallowing red sunlight, hiding one of the most violent worlds humanity has ever discovered. This is where beauty ends. As your spacecraft approaches Neptune, the silence begins to disappear. You notice the clouds moving, not drifting, racing. The winds below are reaching over 2,000 kilometers per hour, faster than the speed of sound on Earth. These are the fastest planetary winds ever recorded. Imagine a hurricane powerful enough to tear apart skyscrapers. Now imagine one that never stops, one that covers an entire planet. You wouldn't survive for a second. But here's the problem. There isn't even solid ground waiting beneath those clouds. You keep descending and descending, yet nothing ever feels solid. Neptune is an ice giant, made mostly of hydrogen, helium, water, ammonia, and methane under unimaginable pressure. Every kilometer deeper becomes more deadly. Your spacecraft begins to shake. Metal groans, bolts twist. The pressure keeps rising. Eventually, your ship doesn't explode. It simply collapses, crushed like an empty soda can. But it gets worse. The deeper you fall, the stranger Neptune becomes. Scientists believe that thousands of kilometers below the clouds, carbon atoms are squeezed so violently that they may transform into diamonds. Imagine an endless storm where diamonds literally rain from the sky. It sounds beautiful until you realize those diamonds are falling through an ocean of superheated fluid under pressures millions of times greater than Earth's atmosphere. Nothing human could ever exist there, and this is where things change. Neptune shouldn't even have enough energy to create such chaos. It receives only a tiny fraction of the sunlight Earth enjoys. It should be frozen and quiet. Instead, it releases more than twice as much heat as it receives from the sun. Something deep inside Neptune is still alive, still moving, still producing energy. Scientists know it's happening, but they still don't completely understand why. The planet is keeping secrets, but that's not even the worst part. Neptune's storms aren't ordinary weather. One of them, called the Great Dark Spot, was discovered by NASA's Voyager 2 in 1989. It was roughly the size of Earth, a storm large enough to swallow our entire planet. Then, years later, it vanished, as if it had never existed. Other giant storms appeared, then disappeared again. Neptune constantly rewrites its own atmosphere. Nothing stays where it should. Nothing remains predictable. Voyager 2 is the only spacecraft humanity has ever sent to Neptune. Think about that. Only one visitor, only one brief flyby. It traveled for 12 years just to spend a few precious hours near this distant world. Then it disappeared into interstellar darkness forever. Everything we know about Neptune comes from a single encounter. The rest remains hidden beneath thousands of kilometers of clouds. But here's the problem. Neptune isn't just far away. It's isolated. If your spacecraft failed here, no rescue mission would ever arrive. Radio messages would take hours just to reach Earth. By the time anyone even heard your final words, you would already be gone. The universe would erase you in silence. The cold becomes unbearable. Temperatures plunge to around minus 200 degrees Celsius. Every exposed surface freezes. Lubricants harden. Electronics begin to fail. Life support systems struggle. Outside your window, there is no sunrise, no birds, no oceans, no sound. Only endless darkness surrounding a planet that never cared you existed. But it gets worse. Neptune's magnetic field behaves unlike almost any other planet. Instead of neatly lining up with its rotation, it's wildly tilted, offset, twisted. Charged particles spiral unpredictably around the planet. Invisible radiation surges through space. The environment itself becomes unstable. Even the invisible parts of Neptune become dangerous. And then comes the greatest fear of all, the unknown. Scientists believe Neptune may hide an enormous ocean beneath its atmosphere. Others think strange forms of superionic water exist there, a bizarre state where oxygen forms a crystal while hydrogen flows through it like liquid electricity. It's unlike anything naturally found on Earth. We've never seen it directly. We only infer its existence through physics. Imagine diving into an ocean that no human has ever witnessed, where matter itself behaves differently, where every law your body evolved to trust begins to fail. Neptune reminds us how little we actually know. We've walked on the moon. We've landed robots on Mars. We've photographed black holes billions of light years away. Yet one of the largest planets in our own solar system remains almost completely unexplored. Its secrets wait beneath clouds no human has ever entered. Perhaps that's what makes Neptune so terrifying. Not its storms, not its freezing darkness, not even the crushing pressure waiting below. It's the realization that some places in the universe refuse to reveal themselves. No matter how advanced we become, no matter how powerful our technology grows, Neptune will always remain a world of mystery, a silent blue giant standing at the edge of sunlight, watching, waiting, unchanged, because in the end, the greatest danger in space isn't always what we can see. Sometimes, it's what hides beneath the clouds. And maybe the universe never meant for us to uncover every secret.